boy. I said it was going to be a pitching matchup, a pitching duel, actually. And I think we got exactly that. Brandon Woodruff and Zack Wheeler. That was beautiful to watch. It was. Yeah, there definitely was a very lack of offense from both teams. Both teams struck out a lot. But Zack Wheeler going the complete game, striking out 8. And Brandon Woodruff, too, you got to give credit to where credit is due. After that first inning where you walked the first 2 batters, you thought, okay, maybe it was going to be an easier day for the Phillies because it might look like he doesn't have his stuff. Because the first 2 batters, he didn't throw a strike. So we're thinking, okay, maybe this day is going to be easier for the Phillies offense. But settled down, he struck out the next few batters, and then he proceeded to strike out 11 batters in this ball game. Both teams struck out a lot. I think combined from both teams struck out 21 times. So yeah, both teams do strike out a lot from no stats. And just, man, beautiful pitching. I love myself a good pitching duel, and today we got exactly just that, and especially for Zack Wheeler going the complete game. And he deserved every bit of that complete game. And it did get a little bit ugly in the 9th inning. Brewers got a couple of runners on, but Joe Girardi, even though the last batter that Wheeler faced to get the final out, that was going to be his final batter before Joe Girardi took him out, just in case he got on base or he drove in a run. But kudos to Zack Wheeler. He got the job done. He got into his first tough situation of the ball game, and he just got his business done, and he gave this bullpen such a much-needed rest after being used so much this entire series, especially the closers on this team. Well, I would say the back end of the bullpen, because you got Neris throwing 2+ innings on Monday, you got Coonrod throwing 2+, you got Alvarado having to make a save as well. So, and the front end of the bullpen, too, being used so much. It gives it a much-needed rest. Now you're going to go on the road and have really 2 important division series against the Braves and the Nationals. And you sweep Milwaukee today. Without Bryce Harper in the lineup, mind you. And the Phillies not once did not trail in this series. Didn't lose the lead. They never trailed to the Brewers at all. And granted, the Brewers, they are very injury-riddled. They don't have Christian Yelich after Monday's game. So definitely that hindered the Brewers a little bit offensively. But the Phillies took advantage of that, even with the Brewers' good pitching. The Phillies took advantage of a hindered Brewers team, and that's what teams should do when you want to try to compete to make the postseason. And the Phillies did this during the series. They took advantage of a team that was injury-riddled, and good for them. And hopefully this is a confidence builder. Hopefully this is a momentum builder, because right now, as excited I am, the Phillies have done this many times in the past where they play a 4-game series at home, they sweep that team, and then it just doesn't find a way to find any momentum going towards the next series. So right now I'm not fully bought into it, but it's a step in the right direction for this team. They needed this sweep after what happened against the Mets during the weekend. They needed this. They needed a series like this. And the Phillies, they're 2 completely different teams. We know this from home and road. They love to play at Citizens Bank Park. It's their home field, and they love the energy that they're getting from the crowd. When they go on the road, they are a completely different team. And these next 2 series are really important, and really important to build off that momentum from this series against Milwaukee. Because you got the Braves, you got the Nationals, and find a way to get some good separation in that division for the time being, because right now you're the only team that is above 500 in first place, and if you find a momentum, get a few wins here against the Nats and the Braves, you can get some really good separation between these teams so far to going into mid-May, end of May. It can give you some good confidence as well. And Bryce Harper, Gene Segura is making the trip to Atlanta, so that's a really bright sign. And Bryce Harper, he is very close to coming back, so that is a really good sign too. So I would expect both of those guys to be in the lineup at some point during the Braves series this weekend. So there's a lot to look forward to, but we need to see how this Phillies team can carry the momentum on the road, because we know they are not a good road team so far this season. And like in seasons previous, they haven't been a good road team, so they need to find a way to bring that momentum on the road like they do at home. So that's something you got to look forward to going into this weekend. But going into the game, pitching duel. That's basically the entire topic of it. Zack Wheeler pitches are pinpoint perfect, and granted the umpire strike zone was very compact it felt like at some points. And I was also at this game with a couple of my buddies, so it was really good to experience that Zack Wheeler complete game in person. So it's weird too. Every time I go to a game, it's always Andrew Knapp as the catcher, because apparently I always go, because I'm finding it a pattern that I always go to the day games, and I just never realized this. I go to a lot of day games in past couple of seasons. So Andrew Knapp has been the catcher a lot of the times when I go to the ball games. But hey, gotta give credit to Andrew Knapp. He called a really good game. And was Andrew Knapp? I think he was the catcher when Aaron Nola threw his complete game too. So Andrew Knapp has his moments where he can call a really good game. He works really wonders for Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin and him have really good chemistry, and Zach Eflin has thrown a couple of complete games when Andrew Knapp was behind the plate. So there's some connection there with Andrew Knapp and some of these pitchers to where he can call a really good game for them. It's not even a knock on JT Realmuto either. Realmuto was amazing, but the way that Knapp has progressed over these years since he was called up to the Phillies like so many years ago, it's a nice progressment of him being able to call a game like that. And his bat too, even though like he's not batting the best this season, but when he was first called up, it was just like, ugh, lights out. He shouldn't even be up here because he can't hit the ball. But he's developing into a nice backup catcher is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, he called a really good game for Zack Wheeler. And Zack Wheeler was just flat out dominant today. Flat out dominant. After the first hit he allowed, just retired batters straight, and no walks too. So it was just 1-2-3 inning, 1-2-3 inning, 1-2-3 inning. It was just a bunch of retired batters straight, and that was fantastic to watch. And even going to Brandon Woodruff too. Like I said, after that struggled with the first two batters of the ball game, he really settled in, and he made the Phillies hitters uncomfortable. But thank God for Alec Bohm, because there weren't that many hits in this game either. The Phillies only had like a few hits in this ball game. The Braves didn't have that many either. The Phillies had 4 and the Braves had 3. And the Braves had 1 hit going into the top of the 9th inning, so there wasn't much offense on their side either. But thank God for Alec Bohm in that 7th inning. Just for what he was going through in that at-bat, he was up 2-1 on an account, and there was a strike call that just probably should have been called a strike. You saw him do a twirl because that's how frustrated he was with the call. And we've seen frustration from Bohm at the plate, and you can really tell that he gets frustrated a lot, which is also could be a good thing because it's a good sign that he cares and he wants to get better at the plate. But he took this advantage of this 2-2 pitch that was right down the middle of the pipe, and he crushed it into the right field stands, and he finally got the Phillies on the board, and he finally got a run in this ball game. And that was all Zack Wheeler needed, but thank God for the 8th inning as well, because Rhys Hoskins drove in a nice insurance run. Kutch gets on base with a single. Brad Miller walks. So you got 2 runners on for Rhys Hoskins. He doubles down the left field line. It was just fair. And he scores McCutchen. Phillies had another chance to score some runs in that inning too. We got 2nd and 3rd for Didi Gregorius, but he did strike out. But 2-0 lead for Zack Wheeler. He was dealing the entire ball game. And I think he only had, around 90, 95 pitches at that point going into the top of the 9th inning. So, hey, he was dealing the entire day. I think 2 runs was going to be enough for Zack Wheeler. And it got pretty close. It did. Lorenzo Cain came up. Garcia came up as pinch hitters. And they both got on. But Zack Wheeler, he got the job done. It was good. And you saw Joe Girardi come up during that last at-bat saying, well, this was going to be his last batter, and it was his job to get him out. And Zack Wheeler did that. First pitch pop up into the foul territory. Rhys Hoskins catches it, and that's your ball game. Like I said, there really wasn't much. You got 4 hits for the Phillies, 3 hits for the Brewers. It was a pitching duel. And I know some people don't like pitching duels because they do tend to be boring, but this was fun to watch. Just 2 pitchers showing their dominance on the mound today, and it was just a nice change of pace. But the strikeouts, definitely, it's a dilemma around baseball right now. A lot of teams are striking out at an alarming rate, and like I said, both teams combined struck out 23 times in this ball game. So it's really the strikeout numbers are just bad throughout baseball. But it's just like so weird seeing these batters strike out so many times. So it's like one of those weird things that's just happening with the sport so far. It's like we all know the way the sport's changing with analytics and stuff, and then how average is not as important of a number, and everything's more focused on launch angles, getting home runs, just getting those big hits. So strikeouts have been becoming more frequent and frequent as the game is starting to progress into the new style that it's trying to get into. But hey, I'm always all for a pitcher's duel. I am. And pitchers really don't go complete that much anymore, even though we have so many no-hitters this year already. I think we've already had 3 so far in the month, like in the beginning, like month and a week or something like that. So in the Phillies, they've had 2 complete games already by their pitchers. Aaron Nola against the Cardinals, and now Zack Wheeler. And Zack Wheeler almost had a complete game a couple of weeks ago as well against the Cardinals, but he didn't last through that 9th inning. But hey, he finally got the job done with the complete game shutout. So credit where credit is due. And basically, there's nothing to go over with the game because I basically just described the entire thing. You got the Alec Bohm home run, you got Rhys Hoskins doubling, you got the pitching duel. So basically, all that stuff, it's not that much to go over. If you want to look at the stats on the pitching side for Zack Wheeler, 9 innings, 3 hits allowed, and 8 strikeouts, no walks. Complete perfection from Zack Wheeler. Sadly, it wasn't that. Like, I want to be to that one point where the Phillies pitcher does eventually toss a no-hitter. There's like something deep down in my mind that it's going to happen at one point with someone like an Aaron Nola or maybe a Zack Wheeler. With the way Zack Wheeler has been pitching this season, I feel like it's more on the side of Zack Wheeler maybe doing that. But not going to get my hopes up for that. But hey, he pitched great today. He pitched great, and this was definitely something that the bullpen needed. Definitely something that this team needed with the use of the bullpen this week. So, like I said, definitely much needed. Go throughout the lineup. Andrew McCutchen was 1 for 3. Brad Miller was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Rhys Hoskins was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Didi Gregorius went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Alec Bohm goes 1 for 3 with that game-winning, well, not the game-winning home run, the go-ahead run to make it 1-0. That bomb into the right field stands. Andrew Knapp goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Nick Maton goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. His average finally falls below 300. So, yeah, pitchers, I'm assuming, are adjusting to him a little bit, but I'm not worried about Nick Maton that much. Odubel Herrera gets another single in this ballgame. He goes 1 for 3, and Zack Wheeler goes 0 for 3. If you want to see the runners in scoring position, the Phillies were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They did have that chance in the first inning to drive some runs home. They weren't able to, and they had the other chance with Didi Gregorius in the 8th inning to drive those other runs in. They left 5 total players on base. And just looking at Woodruff's stats, too. He went 6 2/3 innings. He came out after the Bohm home run, only allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run on the Bohm shot, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Basically, after those first 2 walks of the ball game, pure dominance from Woodruff as well. Pure dominance. Bohm just beat him on a pitch that he made a mistake on, and he took advantage of it. So good on Bohm there. So it was a really entertaining ball game, and you got an important stretch coming up against the Braves. Really important. Your first game tomorrow, 7:20 since it's in Atlanta. Got Eflin on the mound going up against Morton. That's going to be, we faced Morton a couple of times this year. We beat him once, and then he beat us the second time. So, and we got to see what Zach Eflin can do to rebound from his last start against the Braves, because his last start wasn't the best. So I want to see what this series can provide. In the second game of the series on Saturday, it's going to be Vince Velasquez going up against Ian Anderson. So that already looks ugly in my opinion. I know Vince Velasquez had a nice start in this series against the Brewers, but do I expect him to keep it up? No. And he's also going up against Ian Anderson too. So my hopes aren't high for that game with Vinny V on the bump. And if we go to Sunday's game, that's another nationally televised game. So the Phillies are going to be on ESPN for 2 weeks straight. Oh boy. It's going to be Aaron Nola. So finally, Aaron Nola gets to go on national. One of our better pitchers finally get the pitch on national television. It'll be Nola going up against Genoa. So that Braves pitcher who hit a grand slam his last appearance against the Nationals. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting series with this team. The Braves, and I want to look at their record as well in their recent stretch. So the Braves, they're currently 14-16. In their last 10, they're 5-5. They're currently on a 2-game winning streak. And the Phillies right now, they're starting to get hot, as I would say the other teams are starting to get a little bit hot, because the Phillies are on a 4-game winning streak. The Mets and the Braves and the Marlins, they're both on 2-game winning streaks. And the Nats, they recently faced the Braves, so they're currently on a 2-game losing streak as well. And I think they're playing the Braves right now as we speak. I'm not sure what the score of that ball game is. And actually, I do want to look at that. Yeah, the Braves are currently winning in the top of the 9th inning by a score of 3-2. So it looks like the Braves will be going on a 3-game winning streak. So you got 2 teams most likely coming into this series on winning streaks. So let's see what team can ride the momentum further. So that's going to be something huge to look into going into this series. And whose pitching is going to come out on top. And with Bryce Harper, possibly Gene Segura coming back into the lineup this weekend as well. So the Phillies, they're getting a couple of bats back, which is much needed. Definitely much needed. So not much rest to talk about. And Phillies are on a 4-game winning streak. It's a much needed one. And they're going to be facing the Braves this weekend. Really important series. And then you're going to be facing the Nationals. So really 2 important road stretches coming up for the Phillies. So let's see how they can carry the momentum on the road. Because they need to show to us, they need to prove to us that they can win on the road. So what are your thoughts on this ballgame, everyone? Your thoughts on Zack Wheeler's dominance on the mound today? I want to hear your thoughts. Alec Bohm's home run as well. So don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section as always. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Panda Lines, which I am a part of. Their links will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the links to the Fired Up Pod merchandise website and also for Flyers Nitty Gritty. Those links will be in the description as well. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, everyone. And I will see you next time.